if you look at this question of what does it take to lead a happy and fulfilling life, it turns out that three things become very important. One is your basic necessities are met, and I'm going to assume that everyone here is already checked that box, right? You guys all look very well fed and healthy to me, okay? Your basic necessities are met. Really, so you guys have to focus on the second and the third. The second is that you're progressing towards MBA. That is that you have a sense of idea of what it is that you want to be really good at, very skilled at. You need to have a very good clarity about that, okay? And you need to have the opportunity to work towards it. Second is that you have a sense of belongingness, at least one relationship where you feel a sense of deep intimacy. And the third is a sense of autonomy. And there, I would say that it's better to seek internal control, okay? Lots of books on this topic. I mean, if you read my book, there'll be a lot of references and articles and stuff like that that you can check out on internal control, okay? That's the second thing. But the third, perhaps the most important one, is how do you view life? What are the lenses through which you look at life? Is it like jaundiced glasses, which are yellow and is always painting negative portrayals of things that are going on? Or is it rose-tinted glasses, right? Where you're looking at positive things. Not in a delusional way, but we tend to be overly negative and critical normally. So even adjusting to become more realistic, not rose-tinted, just plain glasses, will substantially improve the emotional quality of your life, okay? So the abundance mindset, it turns out to be very, very important determinant of happiness. In fact, I would say that it's more important than the other two, just because we know lots of examples of people who have not just basic necessities met, but they have way more access to resources than, you know, anything that you would need for just basic necessities. In fact, they may even have enough to feed and cater to the basic necessities of 100 people, right? And yet, they may not be happy. Why? Because they have a scarcity mindset. There was an interview of these high net worth individuals that came out in the Atlantic 2 years back. These are all people with over $25 million, okay? And the biggest insecurity was that they did not have enough money. Okay? Imagine the level of scarcity that must be there in their head. If even after so much money, they feel a sense that they don't have enough money, right? And no prizes for guessing this, but they were not happy, okay? If you operate from that kind of a scarcity, you're not going to be happy. And likewise, we have examples from the other end of the spectrum. People with no money, right? If you go to India, how many guys have been to India? Okay, so when you look at poor people, are they smiling or not? Right? No? Okay. I would say that they're smiling a lot more than you would expect them to, right? Because they have a sense of abundance when it comes to a social life. They have a sense of sharing, a sense of community. And of course, you have examples like Jesus or Mandela, etc., who may have lived in circumstances of abject poverty, right? Very, very little to go by, and yet maintained a sense of serenity and calmness and contentment, if not happiness. So I would say that this is way more important than the other two.
Here's a little song I wrote